Relationships are between different things. We can look at three situations. We can look at the energetic dynamics between them, like we do with people, and we look at where there's a balance between the situation, and then we can change the dynamics and see what would help the sitter. So very much like with people, we're going to do the same things, but what we can do is maybe if somebody has a house, they have two options of different places they want to move to, different parts of the country. I know a lot of people can work away from their work and at home. That I wouldn't do ever, but each to his own. So there are these possibilities that are popping up, and if somebody has two options that they can do, you can actually see, well, which of the options would be the better one. If they move to this one, are they ultimately going to move to the other? What is the dynamics between these three options that they have? So say you live in a house, you have two options of other houses to buy. What would it mean if you move to this house? What would it mean if you move to the other house? If there's maybe a move later on between the two houses ultimately. So you might move to this place and then later on you have to move to the other place anyway. So you can kind of play these dynamics out, see what happens on your reading screen, give it through to the sitter, and the sitter can then have this information to make their choices of. Okay, in very much the same way, we can do the same option with careers. So the person could have a current career and they could have an option of one career or the other. So if they want to make a change, this could also just be an appointment. So they could have a current appointment and they could have an appointment somewhere else, or a different one that's an opportunity. And maybe those two are related in some way, where you can play off the two against each other and say, okay, well, I've done this where sometimes I've seen, okay, well, in this place of work, the dynamics are such where you'll have a really easy time and you'll have really good relationships with people, but you have no growth. The other one, don't necessarily have very good relationships with people. It'll be a lot tougher on you. You'll work a lot harder, but you'll have a lot more growth. You will really get further, or you'll learn a lot more as a person, or you'll grow in whatever way. So we can kind of see what the person is looking for. If they're looking for the easy way out, they can go for the easy way out, or they want to look for growth, they can go for growth. Maybe career isn't their main focus and they want to focus on something outside of work, like a relationship, and a career option which is giving them a lot of free time can mean a lot better relationship at home. So this is something that you have no control over. It's just that you want to explore all the possibilities, leave nothing to chance. Beat it to death, really give everything to the sitter and leave him with it. Also have a business, and the business could have different opportunities. So you could have two different opportunities, two different ways that you can go with your business, and realistically you have to choose maybe one of them, or you can go for both. So you can see, okay, well, if I go for the one option, what would happen? If I go for both, what would happen? If I go for the other option, what would happen? And then see, well, maybe you'll go for both options, and typically a lot of information out there says that if you go for two options, you'll really probably put a lot more strain on the business. If you go for one option only and that option really gives you major growth, you can be more focused on one activity for your business, which is really ideal, and then really drive it forward to a point where the business takes care of itself, and then at that point you can maybe switch over and take up the other opportunity. When everything's in place and the business is running smoothly with all the staff needed, you can then grow the separate leg, and then you can go with that one until that's grown up, and you can separate the two at some point, maybe sell the one off or keep the other, or whatever it is. So maybe one is a prerequisite for the other, and just generally go for all the different options and opportunities that are available, and then see how they play off.